Good morning and welcome to the Ron Ross Radio Show podcast. How you doing? I'm Ron. That dude over there is John Yaglinski.
Oh, let me do
my
that.
partner in crime and co-host here, and he switched us again. If you're watching live on Facebook and on YouTube, thank you so much for hanging out with us. And of course, you can grab this podcast anywhere you get your podcasts. I just showed on vacation. I just showed a friend of mine.
Okay.
And they're like, how do I get the podcast? I didn't know about the podcast. And I went to the Apple podcast and
yeah. Let me search. Yeah. I'm going to suggest something too, Ron.
Yeah. Hit me.
To heck with the big corporate media podcasting apps. Get yourself a Podcast 2.0 app. There are a bunch of them. Let me find the one that I use, but you can, I think it's at newpodcastingapps.com or something like that.
Yeah.
Podcast Guru is an excellent one for Apple. Plus, it doesn't support the man. Like,
gotcha.
Podcasting
right.
new features and stuff like that, and Apple's been really slow to implement them. So it's a much better app.
That's where you can get your podcast.
There you go.
But thank you so much for joining us. Today. Thursday. We had a couple of scheduling snafus happening earlier this week. And but it's Thursday, March 21st already. We're in daylight saving, no S on the end, time. We're also it is.
There's no S?
Saving. No, it's daylight saving.
Really?
Time. Yes, correct. You didn't know that? It's just like it's just Eagles, not the Eagles.
Well, that I know because of you.
Right. Well, now you know daylight saving time because of me. You're saving.
I don't know if it's Philadelphia's own Hooters or the Hooters. I need to ask Dave.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, like I'm friends.
We said it was the Hooters, though. It's not the Hooters.
I don't know.
The other one,
their original albums, it just says Hooters.
The other one I remember is, and it wasn't until I used to work at. So I used to be a DJ. In case you didn't know.
Really?
And
you still are a DJ.
I know. No, but I worked in Washington D.C. at a rock station called DC 101, and which is still there. And I was there when they had the Grease Man DC 101 4321101 1-800-33 DC 101. Anyway, I was running a show on a Sunday night. There's and we played a lot of, it's a rock station. So at the time, though, it was heavily classic rock. So a lot of Boston, a lot of Pink Floyd, a lot of, the usual suspects, Leonard Skinner, all of that, and Led Zeppelin. And Led Zeppelin has a song called D, capital D, apostrophe YER, and then MA, separate word, MA apostrophe or MAK apostrophe ER. All right. And for 1,000 years working on rock radio, I always said Dire Maker. It's the song. It's oh. It's got a little Jamaican, little ska action going on. Led Zeppelin trying to do a Jamaican reggae ska song. Well, ska's the best. But anyway, right?
Yeah.
So I'm listening to an interview, or I'm running an interview that evening on DC 101, and it was an interview with Robert Plant, the lead singer of Led Zeppelin, which he could not understand. I just saw, by the way, Shane Gamble just threw up a. By the way, go get your Shane Gamble music. Look him up online. He is an incredible artist, a great singer-songwriter. Shane Gamble, good dude.
Yeah.
Please look him up and go buy his stuff on Spotify or wherever you get your Apple Music, whatever. But he just said Grease Man. He just put a Grease. I actually I had a little conversation, name drop, when I was interviewing Patton Oswalt, the actor and the comedian, and he's from Northern Virginia. And he's like, "Where are you?" And at the time, I was at Sirius XM. I'm like, "I'm in Washington D.C." He goes, "Oh, do you?" And I said, "Yeah, I've been knocking around here for a while. I worked at 101." He goes, "Oh, did you work with Adam Smasher?" And I said, "No, that was before my time, but I did work with the Grease Man." He goes, "The Grease Man." So I got to bond with Patton Oswalt over the Grease Man.
Adam Smasher.
Time to wonder what it must be like to strap on a gun and pin on a badge. Anyway,
here we go.
so sorry, I become a lawman.
Lawman.
I'm listening to the interview with Robert Plant. I knew where I was.
Right.
And Robert Plant, lead singer, and he's like, I don't understand why you Yanks say, or you Americans say, Dire Maker. The name of the song comes from a joke.
Really?
And yes, and he told the joke, and the joke was, my wife went on holiday. Oh, Jamaica? No, she went of her own accord. DYER is did you make her, like Jamaica, and that's why it's a reggae song. It's a ska song. It got so for 1,000 years. I'm going Dire Maker. No, it's Jamaica. Because
really,
yes.
There
you go.
You know what? I need the little thing that goes do do do. The more you know,
the more you know.
Time we bring up some sort of fact like this, I have no idea.
And I got one more for you.
All right,
as I'm digressing.
Okay.
Again, for 1,000 years, big fan of the band Rush.
Right?
John? Yeah. John's a big fan of the band Rush.
As well. Yeah.
Are we done jamming, fellas?
I met Geddy Lee in an airport.
Met Geddy Lee in an airport.
Right. I have stories.
What's the name of the drummer?
Neil Peart.
Correct. It's Peart. For 1,000 years, Neil Peart. Again, I'm working at DC 101, and we had a tape cartridge with an ID. Yeah. Hi, this is Neil Peart from Rush on DC 101. And I'm like, Peart. It's Peart. 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 So,
by the way, I'd like to address this. Hi, James. Can you update iTunes, please? Yes, I can. After the show today, all of that will be up to date.
Sorry, James. Yeah, we got
But real life, James, this is this is not a paying gig for us, unfortunately. And John's been traveling.
Not yet. We're gonna work on it.
I've been traveling a lot. See, he gave me he's giving me the little clappy things.
You've been gone.
Our fans are good.
There you go.
They appreciate us.
They're very nice.
Thanks for
I do appreciate every single person. I was in Florida. We were on vacation. Grace, wife, Ever, and I went. Friends have a house in Pompano Beach.
That's a nice place.
It's really nice, and it's which is home of Baltimore Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson is from. Did you hear? I put on my NFL voice.
I know.
In the gridiron, the Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson. Anyway, he's from Pompano Beach. So
a little bit of this, Ron Ross. Hi, and number 42.
I want to do that. I want to be a stadium announcer. We're coming up on baseball season.
Oh,
I like going to the Frederick Keys, which is
could be.
I don't even know. Is that well? I was asked once to be the Frederick Keys, but I was doing mornings at the time, so I couldn't do the night game the night before. I had to get up at 3 a.m. and it wasn't going to work.
It would probably be
totally now batting.
Right,
the Frederick Keys, the right fielder. Ortiz, number 34. Come on. I want to do that so badly. Anyway, we're in Florida. Where was I going with this? I totally forgot.
I don't know. You were in Pompano Beach, Florida. We were talking about I don't know.
Just before that.
James was talking about iTunes and
so I'm talking to Tom.
Right.
Friends of the dad of our friends, and he listens to the podcast all the time. So that's it. And so I had to show Carol his SO how to get it on her phone with the that's why I brought it up. So fans are everywhere. That's what I'm saying. So people are listening.
Yeah, James is nice about this. He says, I get it. I like to run, and the show is good to listen to while running. Well,
nice. Oh, really?
Now I'm feeling really guilty. So I will push those out.
Actually, you're a runner, John. You're a runner.
I know. Yeah. They're ready to upload. Trust me when I say that. I had them ready to go. I just had to work.
So we were on vacation. We were in Florida. We didn't do a lot of touristy things, although I did get to achieve the one thing that I was looking for, and I think I mentioned it here, or it may have been when I was talking with a friend of ours. But we were in just north of Fort Lauderdale, so we didn't really get any of the spring breakers unless you go to the Fort Lauderdale airport.
Right. Because they'd be coming in by hordes there.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
And apparently they had migrated north from Miami. Miami was closing like all the clubs and not letting people in after like 11. Oh, yeah, really shutting it down. So the spring breakers were just like, all right, fine. What is that? Fort Lauderdale? Okay, let's go. And I just remember when I was in college, University of Maryland, College Park, and in my fraternity, Pica, Ura Pica. And one of my, actually, one of my fraternity brothers, because he is Scott Van Pelt is on ESPN.
Yes, SVP.
Delta Psi chapter at the University of Maryland of Pi Kappa Alpha. He wasn't bald when he clearly.
Now it's part of his thing.
Huh? Literally. Yeah, now it's
logo has
part of his look. Yeah, it's part of his look.
And a bald dome and his glasses. Yeah, it's kind of a cool little logo.
Yeah, it's a cool logo.
SVP.
But so anyway, every spring break, for some reason, somehow the Pica brothers, although a lot of people call them Pikes now, I still say Pica. I like a Pica. A lot of them, because it's not Pi Kappa Epsilon. Okay, it's Pi Kappa Alpha, and so a lot of they would go to Florida. They would go to, there was a club or something called the Button, which I have no idea, and here's why. I never went on spring break. I worked at a restaurant on the weekends, the Peter Pan in Urbana, Maryland.
Right.
And they would go, hey, aren't you on spring break next week? And I'm like, yeah, I am. And I just went, oh, because the next thing I know is like 40 hours.
Cool. We'll schedule you for 40 hours now. That'll be wonderful. Great. Thanks. Appreciate you.
Man. I worked every spring break. I never had that.
Come on, man.
What are you going to do? So, but they would always come back and had all these great stories about spring break. So anyway, now in my very, very late 50s, I get to go to Florida for spring break, which is fine because now I can enjoy it. Now, I was good for a couple of days on my diet. I had dropped 11 pounds when I went down. I was 11 pounds down when we went down. And I tried real hard. I was good on my diet and I wasn't getting crazy or nuts. And then the dinner that first night, we went to this Italian place, or we ordered, from this Italian place, and we got, this pizza that was just amazing. And, and so then it was a slice of pizza for breakfast. I'm cutting it in, giant slices, we got a large, right? And I just realized, actually, Greatest Wife Ever, and I just realized that there isn't really kind of a standalone pizza place around here that's not part of a chain. Actually, I take that back, but I haven't been in that place. Anyway, the slice, huge, and I'm cutting it in half, and I'm having that for breakfast. Meanwhile, George and Trish, our friends, they're doing all their wonderful things that they do in the morning. They do their Bible devotionals, and and they're doing
right.
And they're doing he puts together a shake. He's got a protein shake, and then he's doing all the things, and they're looking good and fit and trim and nice and healthy. And I'm just like, well, with a mouthful of pizza, I'm on vacation. I'm on vacation. But so the net damage, and I came back. So it was that. Oh, I didn't put that on here. International night. I forgot about that. When we came back from vacation, and I had, and I never had a Jersey Mike's sub before.
Not bad. From a Northeast kind of guy, I think they do a good job. Here's what I like about them: the rolls are decent, and they shave like the meat thin and right in front of you.
Right in front of you. Nice. Never been to one before. right?
Yeah.
So this is the first time.
What
So
I
you got
grew
the
up with.
Italian, and
Yeah.
here's what I liked is the
Yeah.
shredded lettuce. They
Yeah.
weren't skimpy. There was
That's
a
true.
nice,
Yeah.
nice
Shredded.
crunch on it. Nice
Yes.
crunch.
Yes.
And then of course I got the banana peppers and then the pepper, the hot pepper relish, which they discontinued at Subway.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. At Subway. I was gonna say you had me because that's what I call the wet peppers.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
relish thing.
Yeah,
That
the
is
pepper
the
relish.
best. That
Yeah,
is
the
again,
best.
that's Philadelphia right there. Like we
Right.
put that on our hoagies.
On your hoagies. And Jersey Mike's, so we had subs and we had pizza, and then I ordered from Zuccarelli's, and they were ridiculous, and we had wings, and I mean, you know, and then dinner's out, and then there may have been 1 or 5 or 12 or 17 adult beverages. I mean, it was a week. Okay, we did go to we did a little we like to do our own little pub crawl, which we did, and we wound up at this place that I now can't remember what it was called, but it was we went out to dinner at this piano bar. We're like, oh,
I love piano bars.
Let's go. Piano bar. So it was a dude and who looked a lot like Scott Van Pelt, by the way. Playing the piano.
I need that for a sound too, by the way.
And then you write down your request, and then you put some cash with it, and you just put it up on the top of this piano, right? And he goes through it. So we put down 4 songs and put a $10 bill. And one of them was, you know, those were the days from Mary Hopkins, right?
Yes.
And then I put because he had started with Billy Joel, so I threw in a Billy Joel song, and not Piano Man. I threw in Summer Highland Falls. It was my favorite Billy Joel song. And there were like 2 others. I forget what it was. And apparently he just picked one. So that one song cost us $10. So we did the Mary Hopkins, and everybody was singing along. Those were the days. So that was fun. He was good, but he was kind of, you could tell he's done it 1,000 times because he was rolling through the songs, kind of. He knew the lyrics, or sometimes he'd look it up on his phone. But he was more interested in his shtick. In between, he'd be in the middle, which is fine. Everybody loved it. So if the majority of the room, he's reading the room, if they were into it, but you know, Greatest Wife Ever and I were just like, sing the song, please. How about you sing the whole song from beginning to end, and maybe we don't need a little, you know, something.
Oh, you're not a regular.
Or not a regular.
So exactly. The regulars probably already know what to expect and are expecting them to go off script.
So that was dinner one night. So then in our pub crawl, and this was at Lauderdale by the Sea, which is a little bit further down from Pompano Beach, right?
Yep.
And it's a little beach town, and it's on the shore, and you have all these little hotels and high-rise hotels with these great restaurants, and then you have all these restaurants right at the beach. So as we did our pub crawl, we went around, and I met a dude at this one place, and we were just hanging, chatting, and he's and I can't for the life of me remember his name. I'm following him on Instagram, and I tried to find him again so I can mention him, because now he's following me and listening to the podcast, and I cannot remember. His name is the name of a country, and then he asked me if I knew the capital, and I did, and I cannot remember what it was. I gotta find him, but I realized that I'm following like 800 people, and I was like, I'm never gonna get through this.
Yeah, that could be a problem
on my Instagram. Oh no, I was looking at the wrong one.
Something just struck Ron's brain right there.
I'm looking at the wrong one. All right, so. Anyway, I'll have his name by next week. Anyway, great guy. So we went back to this piano bar, but they didn't have a piano player singer. They had a guy who was singing, and this is exactly what I loved Florida for, because they used to have a guy like this over at the Tiki Bar, but Tiki Bar stopped having that entertainment.
Okay,
but it was, and I love when you go to bars like the Tiki Bar and you get like a pina colada or whatever, and they're like, would you like a floater for, you know, an extra $2?
Why, yes, I would.
$3, $4, whatever. So next thing I know, the double is now a triple, and all the alcohol, all the Myers rum is floating on top. But I love that. Always upselling it. Always upselling it. And they're good. They're good. Sometimes I predict, sometimes I don't. But this singer, okay, and we spotted him in the room before he got up on stage, but he had a jet black, almost satin shirt with a big white polka dots on it. But his jacket was Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. It was black and white stripes.
Oh, really?
Down the arm. And, okay. And his hair is jet black and almost blue. It's coiffed back. And he's got his iPad that is playing all of his tracks. And he's just singing River Deep, Mountain Wide. And it was the perfect. I wanted my drink and I wanted my appetizer, and that amount of cheese was perfect.
That amount of cheese.
You know what? And look, we tipped him. He was highly entertaining. And I just there, a bunch of sing-alongs. He did was it the Spinners? He did a Spinners medley. Really? You don't realize how many Spinners hits Oh,
I do.
You hear him sing one after the other.
I was like, holy
old song, you're sweet, you're sweet. Yeah. I'm singing all the background and all the backup.
Brother man starts to jam.
It was great. That was a lot of fun. That's exactly what I wanted. And then we get back. The flight was delayed for an hour, which is funny because we got the we're there the Fort Lauderdale airport, where we had to go find a bar because Greatest Wife Ever has to have a few drinks before she can go. She doesn't get hammered.
Don't like flying.
She needs to. Yeah, right. She's not a big fan. And we didn't have any Valium on us or anything like that. So so we find the bar, and then I get a boop. And we're a good 2 hours before we're supposed to take off. Plenty of time. Get
good
to eat.
Smart.
Right. Get a drink. And it's not that busy. It's a Thursday night. So
that's what I was going to ask. Is this a nighttime? Because if you got delayed almost assuredly, it was at nighttime.
8:45 was our flight.
Yeah. Okay.
And then next thing I know, I get a bit on my phone. It goes, "You've been rebooked to 9:50." I'm like, what? So I went over to the gate.
Welcome to my nightmare.
Which still said 8:45 on time. And I'm standing there, and next thing I know, like 15 other people are walking up, all with their phones, going, we just got rebooked. The woman at there did not know because they had not alerted her yet.
That happened. Right? Yeah.
Which is fine. Right. So anyway, and it was at a different gate, and we plotted out the gate. So we had plenty of time to, and then there was hardly anybody on the flight. There was like 130 seats that were available. So we were just kind of, I don't think there were enough people on the 8:45. So they just bumped everybody to the 9:50. I don't know. But, and I don't care. We got out of there on time. We got in after midnight.
Could be.
But at BWI, Baltimore Washington International, George Thorogood? No. Who is it? What's his name? Not George Thorogood. That's George Thorogood of the Delaware Destroyer.
Thurgood Marshall, right?
Thurgood Marshall.
Yes. George Thorogood. I don't know. I kind of was like George Thorogood International Airport.
And last night about 10:30, that baby of mine would let me in. No, it was the Thurgood Marshall. BWI. Thurgood Marshall Airport.
It's good.
But nobody had told them that the bags that were supposed to go on flight, 8549. 8549 was canceled, so they were on 8550, the next flight.
Right.
All right. So you're looking at the baggage baggage carousel, and it says 8550 carousel 5, and then I see 8549 carousel 7. I'm like, why is that? Because that got canceled. And then somebody walks over and goes, yeah, all our bags are over there at carousel 7. They've pulled them all off because they didn't think anybody was there. They had pulled all the bags off and put them all into claim.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, well, okay, that's all us. So we got out of them.
Yeah.
Got back at 2:00 in the morning, and we left beautiful and sunny Florida. And on our way back, driving from Thurgood Marshall from BWI back to our house in Central Maryland,
right,
which is a good hour trip.
Yeah,
it's raining and it's cold and it's in the 40s and it's welcome back to Maryland.
Yeah,
you're in Florida. I
doing?
know it's springtime, but not really, because that's just March. And Maryland is very cruel. You'll have right now in Washington, D.C., you've got the Cherry Blossom Festival that's going on.
Mm-hmm.
The cherry blossom trees, which were gifted from Japan, and they go all around the tidal basin in Washington, D.C., downtown.
Yes.
And when they all are in bloom, and you have really nice mild weather leading up to, and I just heard that the Cherry Blossom Festival has been moving gradually from April. It's been moving, the last week in March, and now the second week in March, and when they're going to have peak blossoms. The problem is you'll get 2 weeks of mild weather with temperatures in the 70s and
right.
in the 50s, and the trees are like, all right, let's go. It's spring. Mm-hmm. And then last night, cold front came in. High today, it was in the 20s last night. 20s, and then high is like 43 today. And the blossom people are walking around the Cherry Blossom Festival and they got their winter coats on, like, oh, isn't it beautiful? And the blossoms are like, that's it, I'm out of here. Forget this. And then you've got 33 mile an hour winds that are going to blow all the blossoms up. Because it's March, and in our area it's just cruel. It's a cruel.
Well,
we had some of the worst snowstorms. March 15th, the odds of March, we had like almost 2 feet of snow one year, and I got stuck at a radio station for 3 days.
I remember,
or 2 days. I think I told that story. So there we
go. Let me tell you, the Midwest wasn't much better. Dayton, Ohio, it was in the 40s, and I was out there for the first 4, and my company was sponsoring the March Madness celebration.
Explain what the first 4 is, John.
Oh, well, yeah. Lock your brackets, everybody, because March Madness has begun. Yes. I think it starts at about noon or something today, NCAA's tournament. Right. But there is a first 4, which is what essentially they used to call the play-in games, where the last 4 teams into the tournament and are playing into the field of 64. So you go from field of 68 to 64. Now they call them the first 4. And pretty much for the last 20 years, they've been in Dayton, Ohio, which is the home of University of Dayton. It's our arena, and that's where I went to school, just so you know. But as part of that, they had a hoopla 4-miler that I did.
I saw that.
And it was freaking.
You are a masochist, man. You are a masochist.
Well, I wanted to do it this year because, understand, I've been out there the last 3 years doing this now. My company is involved in it. Great community, great response. But the first year I went out there, it was 20 degrees like at start time. I said, nope, I don't do that. The next year I went out there, it was snowing on the course as they did that. I said, nope. So 39 degrees seemed balmy in comparison. And I actually did run it, but holy crap. There was about a 15 mile an hour wind. So to your point, and I think they went down into the 20s as well. And it's just been chilly, but it was 70 last week there. So
I'm telling you, man.
I know.
So we get back, and the weather, not the least of which of our problems, is because we get back on Friday morning, Thursday night, Friday morning, early Friday morning, and then we were invited to a wonderful party called International Night, and that is where everybody signs up to bring a different dish and share from a different country. And of course, me being Polish, I said, we're going to bring pierogies.
Yeah.
I never made a pierogi in my life. My mother made them, and she's not even the Polish one in the family. She got the recipe from my babusha, which is my grandmother. my father's mother, right?
Babusha.
Babusha would make these pierogies that were big as your fist. I mean, if you've seen the little Mrs. T's, they're like little this. No, big as your fist.
Yeah.
Fry them up in a cast iron skillet, and the butter that was burned in the skillet, you poured it into a gravy boat and put it out on the table for your 5-year-old grandson to later develop a heart condition.
So good. So dark. We used to go out to my grandparents' house in the anthracite region of Pennsylvania, up in Chickasha, Pennsylvania. Up near where was the town? Scranton, and in that general. Just to give a geographic region, since everybody knows what Scranton's about from the Dunder Mifflin Paper Company, of course. But we used to go to Polish festivals at the local churches and stuff, and same thing. It was the pierogies, the glumpkies. They would have clams. I don't know why, but they would like this first time I had tried an actual clam with butter, and they would just have them steamed clam,
right?
Like why? Oh, and potato pancakes.
Yeah, and kapusta, which is what that's sweet sauerkraut with brown sugar.
Yeah, but this is where I learned about all these things and the delicacies. And
my dad loves it. So greatest wife ever. My dad finds the recipe. I said, Dad, can you look in the Mom's got a Better Homes and Gardens, the white and red checked cookbook that everybody has. I think it's a requirement after you get married, you have to have one of those. We've got one.
Yeah.
And can you look in there? Because I think I remember Mom writing down, because she taught me how to make pierogies. And can you, find that? And so he sent a snapshot picture. So it's my mom's handwriting, and but it's my babusha's recipe. And so greatest wife ever, I had to go back to work. It was Friday, and she's like, well, we're not just going to try it for the first time. And she looked it up and she said, it's an all day thing. It's a labor of love all day making this. All right. So she does a batch, and I come home and she's just crestfallen. She goes, they didn't turn out. I'm like, what are you talking about? These are perfect. They're wonderful. Yeah. And she's like, no, that's not what I want. And I don't want to. And I'm like, we're not serving these. We're doing it again tomorrow on Saturday. I'm like, okay.
All right.
Really? More pierogies? All right. So this is, by the way, this is after I've come back from Florida off my diet. If you don't know what pierogies are, I'm sorry. They are they're Polish dumplings filled with mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
And usually cheese and onions, and you can put sauerkraut in there.
And
you can
butter.
make it sweet if you want, but we don't. We make the savory kind. All right. Yeah. And they're gut bombs, and you have like 2 of them and you're full, and
then you eat 5 of them.
Huh?
And then you eat 5 of them anyway.
And then you eat 7 of them.
Yeah, see?
And then you smother them with the onions and then the melted butter and
I'm getting hungry.
We still have a bag. We still have, see, greatest wife ever has put us back on our diet, which I'm being a good boy. She's put us back on our diet, but there's still a bag of pierogies from that first batch.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I got to get these to my dad. I got to get these out of the house. She's like, are they still good? Yes, they're still good. Trust me. But we got to get them out of here. I can't look at them because it's just too easy to grab one, mic it for 10 seconds. I'm like,
yeah.
Eat them like potato chips. They're amazing. So
they're amazing.
Amazing. You're great.
You're great.
So
sorry.
We made the pierogies. We spent all day, and she now said that I get to roll them because I was rolling them out, and we had the cutter, and I'm putting and I wet the edge and seal them and all that stuff, and then she's boiling them, and then you boil them until they're done, and then until they float, and then you fry them. And she was doing and then she had all these onions. So we take this whole thing over to the international night, and then there was, gosh, I can't even tell you, there was baked ziti, there was. From Switzerland, there was an actual fondue that I really, really enjoyed. And then the udon noodles. And I mean, it was just all this. And I'm just like, beef bourguignon from France.
man.
And
Killing
somebody
me.
had Canada, and they brought poutine. I'm like, I've never had poutine, so I tried it, and I'm like, I could eat poutine every day of my life.
Right?
Never had it before. It was amazing. And so,
It's
we ate all
amazing.
of that. That's on Saturday, and then
Yeah.
Sunday was St. Patrick's Day.
Oh,
And we started this tradition last year. It's been going on every year. There's a pub in downtown Frederick, Maryland called Bushwallers.
yeah.
And Bushwallers is an Irish pub, and they've got all of the huge Guinness signs and Jamesons and
It's authentic too. It has that
right.
feel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're wonderful.
Good place.
Yeah, their fish and chips is to die for.
Yes.
Anyway, they on St. Patrick's Day, they open up at 8 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
So last year, when I was in between employment, we decided to, like, we've never done it before. All right, let's go. We went down there at 8 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock in the morning and stood in line,
right,
and got in and hung out with these friends of ours. And, so that's what we did this year. We were in line at 7:15. And then the line started going down the block. We were like fifth in line, and then the line went down the block. Anyway, when they opened up and let us in at 8 a.m., we were sitting at the bar. I had a Jameson's on the rocks, Irish whiskey, and a half and half at 8:05 a.m. And I'm like,
you haven't lived until you've done that.
Probably not good. Right. Then that's when I filmed or shot that video that I posted. I went Facebook Live and on St. Patrick's Day. So we stayed all day. Greatest wife ever decided that she wasn't going to drink Coronas on St. Patrick's Day, that she was going to have Harp. So she was drinking Harp.
Good choice.
We had the breakfast, which was this huge. Now, it wasn't a typical American sausage breakfast sausage you would get. It was the Bangers sausage that they use with bangers and mash, which is a milder flavor with British or Irish sausage, but so wonderful. And then eggs, and then soda bread and beans with an Irish breakfast. Yeah. And and then fruit, and I mean, this thing was a huge plate of food. I'm eating that again on the diet, or I had the pierogies the night before and just came home on vacation.
Right. Yeah.
So, John.
Yes, Ron.
This isn't the question of the day, but I'm going to throw it out there and just make a guess. And trust me, you will not hurt my feelings.
How many lbs?
How many do you think I put back on? I was down 11 pounds after that week. International night and St. Patrick's Day, drinking the liquid carbs. I didn't drink all day, by the way.
Yeah.
It was because my boss was like, weren't you at Bushwallers like all day? And I'm like, yeah, I wasn't drinking all day. I was just there all day.
Okay.
So anyway, go ahead, make your guess. Because I literally went to the doctor yesterday and I got weighed.
I'm going to go off of me going on a cruise, and then what my post cruise and right now weight is, having traveled and stuff. And I'm going to go with the same window that I went. I would say between 5 and 6 pounds.
5 pounds. Very good. I did.
Yeah.
I put 5
Very
pounds.
easy, but it just shows you how quickly, if you get out of your routine just for 4 or 5 days.
Yeah, this is 10 days.
Yeah.
So I put 5 pounds back on in 10 days.
It's easy to do.
Or I was doing averaging a pound off a week. It took me 7 days to take 1 pound off. It took me 10 days to put 5 pounds back on.
Yeah. And that's,
No
but
problem.
you know what? I think if you go back to your normal, diet routine or whatever, you'll be surprised how quick it will.
I started yesterday. Yesterday. I'm happy it wasn't more.
Right. Yeah, you get a little bit of that.
I thought it was going to be more because about halfway through the vacation, I'm like, whatever. You know what I said in my head. Whatever. I'm on vacation. Reward myself. I deserve this. Heart disease.
Yeah, Jim had guessed 8.
Wow,
Jim went on the over.
That wasn't the question of the day, by the way.
No,
right? No prize for that.
Right. Way to go, Jim. Thank you.
Oh, I wanted to mention this real quick because I put this shirt on specifically because Carolina, the daughter,
we both have specific shirts.
That's right.
Yeah.
But Carolina with a K, you met her last year on this, not on the podcast, but on the website. Anyway, her band Swerves, she just wrote a new song and I heard it. So new music is coming out. Look for it. It's going to be on Spotify. And I heard she sent me the band rehearsal version, and then I heard the backing tracks, and the drums are right there. I'm like, I'm like texting her. I'm like, I have like almost tears in my eyes. I'm like, this is so good. And I'm like, you keep those drums there. Don't you bury them in the mix. Those drums need to be right there. That snare is like, bam. And I'm like, yes,
Sweet.
that is what I'm looking for, man. It was awesome, though. It's a great song. And so I'm very excited. She's going to be playing it this weekend. She's got a show in Philadelphia somewhere on a multi-bill. Yeah. And she goes, and she posted on her Instagram, she goes, I'm going to we're going to try to play it this weekend. So I was just really excited because I've been on her for a while about, hey, are you writing? Are you writing? And she's been busy with life. She's got, a lot of things going on in life.
Know how that goes.
She's working 2 jobs now, and she's paying down her student loan, and she wants to buy the house they're in, and then their weddings of friends coming up, and this and that. I mean, she's just I'm like, hey, write a song. She's like, Dad, a little busy.
Yeah.
But anyway, I just wanted to announce that. Swerves, look them up on YouTube. You can see the video of every weekend, which is posted, which I really like. And so there you go. That's my personal little
nice
plug for a daughter, the younger.
The
daughter, the elder, is going on a cruise.
Oh,
and that's why she's in Florida right now.
Hold on. I get excited when I can use something on. No, that's what. It's the beans.
Because I'm 12.
Because we're 12.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't.
All right, here we go. Are you ready, John? You got the QOD ready to go?
She's going on a cruise.
She's going on a cruise. She and her husband, no son, and with friends of theirs. So it's a group. Yeah, it's not just those two and another couple, and I think 2 other couples.
What line are they going on?
It is.
Out of curiosity. Do you know?
Party time. They're going to Bahamas and back.
No, but what cruise line? Carnival?
Carnival. It's the one that has they have their own island.
There's a couple. They pretty much all do now.
All right. Well, I don't know.
It might be Royal. What is it? Perfect Day Coco K.
I don't know. You're not gonna ask her. Let's ask her right now. Let's see if she's.
Let's see.
Yes. She's paying attention.
Hold wait.
Let's go. Let's pick up the old cell phone and text her right now. Here we go on the old Ross family. She sent a video with gators in some lakes. She's at a park and there are gators everywhere. And I'm like, okay, good for you. There's just the iguanas where we are over on the East Coast. We don't really do. All right. Let's see. Where is it?
We've got copperheads. It's copperhead season here.
Oh,
and
really?
deer. Well, yeah, I mean, we're on the marsh. You have to be.
Well, we got
be aware of these.
Really? Have you seen them in your garage and stuff?
Alligators, copperheads. No, not in our garage. Next door neighbor had them in their garage. Our garage is closed off, so.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean these things. There's wildlife. It's an island. We have things. And we have good snakes too.
Yeah, we have black snakes.
Yeah.
Black, but no snake according to the
one who eat the copper.
Greatest wife ever. She hates.
All right, so nothing, no response back yet.
Oh no. Well, that's the thing I wanted to bring up. I'll bring that up in another. It's one of my pet peeves, and I love the daughters. They're the greatest thing ever, right? And they'll hit you with a, "Hey, Dad," blah blah blah, and I answer them, and I'm like, "So, blah blah blah." That's it. They drop off a clip. For hours, never respond. I thought I was having a conversation. Exactly. Yes. Crickets. Yeah. I'm talking to them. They're talking back. Hey, I say this. They say that. I say this.
My son does that too.
And then nothing. And then nothing.
Yeah. I have the same problem. But all right. All right. So anyway,
all right, you ready? Here we go.
yeah, I am ready.
All right, because it's time. Wow, we're late. Time to get the gray matter working. Fire all the synapses, engage frontal lobe, form new neural networks. Utilize the cerebrum. As Pooh says, it's time to
think.
It's the dun 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 question of the day. Playing for pride, not prize. All right, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Here we go. Today's question of the day. What do 40% of people admit to doing this when they go to someone else's house?
Oh, I know what this one is.
What do 40% of people admit to doing when they go to someone else's house? All right. Put your answers in the comment section. First one through with the correct answer gets pride, not prize. Good luck.
Good luck. Yeah, I got this one. I mean, I think this is the easiest QOD that we've done.
You think?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Really?
It could go several different ways.
I don't know. The answers that are coming in so far echo my sentiment.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All
right, here it is one more time. What
Yes.
do 40% of people admit to doing when they go to someone else's house? John,
Ready?
close to our first answer, which is
you're asking me or Jim?
no, whoever the first answer is.
Oh, okay. You thought you said John did.
I said like, John, but can you please?
It's been a while, folks. We're a little out of sync this morning.
Been a hot minute.
All right, here we go. Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
There you go.
Jim, look in the medicine cabinet.
Yeah.
That's correct. There you go.
Yes.
Yeah,
I knew.
Yes,
I knew it.
Nailed it. Is that what you thought?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look, wait, hold on.
Look in their bathroom cabinets. Kim said that. What else we got? Celeste said snooping in the bathroom.
There you go. I mean, everybody had it.
The thing? Do people really do that?
Yeah.
I've never done that in my life.
Really?
No.
It's definitely a thing.
Have you done it, Don? Wow. Wow, really?
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 I'm like trying to think whether I have or I haven't. I will probably say I've done it probably at least once.
Now, what I always wanted to do, and I told the greatest wife ever I wanted to try this, is I wanted to when we have parties, is I wanted to put one of the lower cabinets. I wanted to put marbles in there.
Yeah, that's
that one opens. Yeah. So then you hear it.
But I was looking for a Q-tip or something.
No, it's all right. You were out of toilet paper. No, we weren't.
No,
we weren't.
We were fully stocked. We were good.
Right.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I've never done that. All right. Okay. You know what? I got to ask you, as you are enjoying the podcast. Hopefully you're enjoying the podcast. Put your answer in the comment section. Have you ever done that? Have you ever looked in somebody else's medicine cabinet or Jim says prize could have been pierogies. No, Jim, you don't want these pierogies. Trust me.
So
they did not manage the greatest wife ever's quality control.
Oh, QC. No.
Nope. Nah, she didn't.
Nope.
I love them, but they're still sitting there and they got to get out of the house.
Come on, people, own up. Have you ever done this?
Have you ever done it? Go ahead. Come on. We won't tell anybody.
Yeah, we won't.
You can only say it was a friend. Say it was a friend.
Yeah, I know a friend who did that.
A friend who did it.
Nobody's owning up to it, Ron.
No? All right.
No, it's funny, though, that
they're like me. I've never done it.
So many people knew what it was, but aren't owning up to the fact that they've actually done it. Mm-hmm.
You know what? I believe
looking at you.
They say they've never done it, and I'm going to go ahead and.
Celeste says no. She never looked.
Looked in medicine cabinets. All right, Celeste. See, there you go. Celeste is with me.
All right.
I would never, ever even dream of looking into somebody else's medicine cabinets.
I might have. I don't recall, but I'm going to lean on this of saying I did probably.
Now, you know what I have done accidentally is use the display towels when I,
You mean the guest GUESS towels?
Yeah,
the guest towels.
Yeah, the guest towels.
So we used to call them as kids.
Did you?
Can we use the guest towels? They're guest towels, John. They're guest towels.
Well, that reminds
No,
me.
but I have to guess whether I can use them each
We have to do that next week,
Okay.
John. We have to do the toddlerisms.
Oh,
Or, yeah.
okay.
We'll do that next week because I have a list that's memorized with the Kim. I don't go to other people's houses that much. I can't remember.
I don't think so. See, that she's like me. I don't think I did it, but I might have. I mean, if you put me on oath on a stand under case of perjury, I would probably say maybe I might have done that, or I don't recall.
I never have. Not even as a kid.
Jim's 100-year-old mother still has Vapor Rub from when he was 7 years old in the cabinet. I think we all have that thing of Vapor Rub that has the crinkly label on it that maybe has been around because it lasts.
Well, also Listerine. So now I remember my grandmother, who I called a goo, and that's another discussion. What were your nicknames for your grandparents?
Oh, okay.
But she had the Listerine bottle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it was from like the 50s. The label. It was
given that alcohol is the active ingredient pretty much in most things like that. Yeah, it was flat. Yeah, I'm sure there was no alcohol left.
Perfectly fine.
Burned off.
No. I do remember that. And my grandmother, she had the Listerine. And then of course, we had the methylate. And that chrome. Yeah.
The little red, the thing that burned as a kid.
That was yeah. You know what? I begged mom. I begged mom to get Bactine.
Right.
Begged her because what was the big marketing thing with Bactine is it didn't sting.
It didn't sting. Yeah, no sting. Yeah.
Nope. Mom, isopropyl alcohol right on it, and
just
then
throw it right on it.
And then mom had been in nursing stream, but when you skin your knee and you've got pieces of gravel and dirt and all that, so you got to wash it,
right?
And so she's sitting there with a washcloth and soap and just like I'm screaming,
yeah,
and just got to get it all out, and then comes the alcohol, and then she'd blow on it, but still, it's like you just put. And Kim said exactly what I said. Bactine did sting. It was a lie. Exactly. We got the bottle of Bactine and tried it, and she went like the TV commercial.
Yeah.
And right on my knee, and it's
still hurt
like a mother father. I'm like, this is false advertising. This is what's wrong. What's going on here?
Oh, that's funny. Very funny.
And we did have the methylate and the mercurochrome and all that stuff that you put on the. I just remember coming home. I was on my bike. I was and I had the bike with the the big handlebars that came up, typical Schwinn or whatever.
We don't want to do my bike story again.
Yeah, we do. Speed Wobble. Speed Wobble. That's a good name. That's a good name for a band, by the way. Speed Wobble. Because I had that on a skateboard. You and I have compared notes on that.
Yeah, I believe we have. We've gone down the road before. That's the problem. Ron and I have had so many conversations over the years about our childhoods. It's hard to remember what we've told you now on the podcast. Because,
I'm on my bike.
There was some
and it's typical bike, with the banana seat and all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know who I was with.
Banana
but I was we were on a construction site, of course, and it had been muddy, and the earth moving machines had the big treads had put these big ruts in, and then it had dried. So you're trying to navigate, and then
you'd hit
your bike just goes eat, and I went flying over the handlebars.
Yeah.
And I land and I skin the heck out of my shoulder. All right. So it's bleeding.
Rash.
Yeah. Shoulder. Yeah. Road rash right here.
Yeah.
I still remember where it is and here's why.
Why is it?
Because I was definitely afraid that my mom was going to put alcohol on it. So I go home, blood's just flying, pouring down my arm. And I go in. Luckily, Mom wasn't in the kitchen or anything, and I just went straight to the bathroom.
Mhm.
And I went straight to the bathroom and I cleaned it up and as much as I could, and I'm just dabbing it or whatever,
Yeah.
and it's bleeding. So I took a wad of toilet paper and I put it on there.
Good
and
enough.
That's it.
Yeah.
And put a t-shirt back on, and that's it. Well, later that night, I go to bed because I didn't tell Mom anything.
Right. Yeah.
Later that night, I'm going to bed, take the t-shirt off, and it had the tissue was now in the wound.
Yeah.
And it was starting to scab
dum-dum.
over it. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
gross. It was totally gross. So I had to, trying to peel the thing off.
Oh,
I kept it there for the night, and then the next day I tried to peel it off,
right.
and there was still tissue that was
In there.
in my shoulder.
Embedded.
And I'm like,
Yeah, it's great.
am I gonna die? Because I've got
I've got
toilet
paper inside my
body now. It's become part of my skin. What's gonna happen? I don't know. So it went away. That's how deathly afraid I was
of mercurochrome.
of the of the alcohol. Because I guarantee you she was gonna put alcohol, she was gonna just pour the bottle, empty it on my shoulder.
Yikes.
So I never told her. And I think to this day, I still have a piece of tissue in
my shoulder. You are tissue man. You and the tissue has used and given you superpowers.
The tissue man. Blow your nose in me.
Tissue power. You can fling tissues.
Oh no. Okay. All right. So let's wrap it up on time. Actually, I know we were a little late, but
hey, I got to ask everybody. Do me a favor today at 4:00. Root for the Dayton Flyers to win.
Oh my gosh.
If there was one team, I have to say this. If there was one team that got screwed in the COVID thing in 2020, we did. Right. We were going to be a number 1 seed. I think that might have been for the first time in our history. We had a future NBA player, Obi Toppin, who now is making waves. You see him on SportsCenter all the time. And we were going to be a number 1 seed. And yeah,
brought that back around.
That was good. That was a good callback.
Thank you.
And on the day, pretty much when the conference tournament championship we were supposed to play in, as our tournament was being played, they actually called off the conference tournament, and then. Right. I'm going nuts on Twitter going, there ain't no way in Hades that the NCAA tournament gets called off. They'll figure out a way to run it. This will never happen. We'll be fine. Everything will be fine. And then the next day, boom, that was it. NCAA tournament canceled, and that was the beginning of the end.
Yeah, the world.
So if there was one team that has been screwed, that was our best year pretty much in our history of our program, it was Dayton. So we are a 7 seed playing Nevada today, not to get too heavy into the sports, but 4:00 today. Please watch.
Eastern.
Please send us some good juice. Yeah, 4:00 Eastern. Yep.
Right.
Yep. Go
All right, John. If you root for the University of Maryland Terrapins women.
I always root for the Terps. You know that.
That's right, because your wife.
Except for when they play Dayton. I always root for the Terps.
Maryland played Dayton? Do they?
They used to occasionally. Yeah. Cool. We'd meet up in tournaments like in Maui and things like that. We've met Maryland before. Yeah.
It's funny. I went to Maryland, and I went to the football games with Boomer Esiason was the quarterback, but I never went to a single Maryland basketball game. And I had a class in Cole Fieldhouse, which I didn't know they had classrooms in Cole Fieldhouse where the games were played. At the time, that's way back in the 80s. 40 years ago. 40 years ago. And
35 for me this year.
Oh, really? I'm celebrating 40 years in radio in August. 40 years. I don't know.
Which means if it's 35 for me of graduating, that would be 35, 36, 37, 38 officially on the air for real at a real stadium. And if you count student radio and WDCR, Add 35 plus 4, it's 39 for me. So
wow. All right. Okay. Yeah. 40 years. No, that'll be in August. So, but we'll cross that bridge.
we need to have a cake or something. That'd be fun.
Yeah, greatest wife ever night. Well, we wanted to throw a party and do all that stuff, but this year, she's got a huge birthday, and mine is about a month later. She wants to have a big party. I wanted to travel, but now I'm looking at the fact that traveling, the thing that I wanted to do is pretty pricey. So what I might do is a theme party with live music, but here's what I want. It's going to be very specific because it's the anniversary also of two great bands. 1964, when I was born, would be the Beatles. So I'd like a Beatles cover band to do the first album. Meet the Beatles, just start to finish, do the album.
Yeah.
1974 was Kiss's first album. And I want to do that album cover to cover,
with full makeup.
No, just play the song.
Yes.
Play the music.
I want a band in full Kiss makeup.
No, that's not happening.
Doing this. Come on.
There is a tribute band that's running around. There is a tribute band. They're called Cold Gin. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. I really enjoyed, and they're like early stuff. They don't do anything. They do the first 3 albums leading up to Alive. I don't think they do anything like Detroit Rock City or anything. Well, they might. I don't know. But I did point out, a friend of mine was like, hey, they're going to be playing in Northern Virginia somewhere. Should I go? And I was like, absolutely, go to the show. You'll have a great time.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
And he went to the show and he said, thank you for telling me. I had a wonderful time. And he sent pictures and I went, oh, sorry, violation. He goes, what? I said, I'm sorry that you did not notice this. But the Gene character, the Peter Criss character, and the Paul Stanley character, all were wearing Love Gun costumes. The Ace Frehley character was wearing the Destroyer costume. Sorry, that's a problem. That was a problem. It's a problem, man. Come on. Ace never did that.
Okay.
Where was Ace's Love Gun costume? Come on, it's on the cover of the album.
Okay.
All right, we've gone over time.
Did no one notice?
I noticed.
I know you did.
I'm the one. I'm that guy.
Hey, it's that time, by the way.
Is it that time?
Okay,
good.
Yeah, we have to.
Do I have anything else I have to do today? I don't know. I got to go to work.
You got to go to work.
I got to go to work.
So do I.
But and have a wonderful time when I'm at work.
And watch the Flyers
for Fredericks Key 103.
Yeah.
With the most music while you work.
Right.
The Ron Ross ride home. I also have the key question of the day for prizes, actual prizes, and we have a sponsor.
Wow.
Today's Thursday, so I have a rotating game. We do at 4:00 Eastern, which is the movie game. I think we'll do the movie game today.
The movie game.
Or maybe, well, I don't know. 3rd week in March, maybe we'll do name 5 and 5. Yep. That's also a lot of fun. You have 5 seconds to name 5 things in a random topic that I give you. 5 seconds to name 5 things.
That's tough.
And it's not. You hesitate, and you're out.
Yeah.
You hesitate for 1 second. You've got to get 5. You've got to do 1 per second.
Yep.
And if 5 types of trees, birch, larch, maple, weeping willow, and I just blanked on the 5th one, and there's not a lot, 5 seconds, and it's over.
Tough to name 5 things of anything.
Right, 5 and 5. Name 5. You only have to do it twice though. But 5 kitchen utensils, 5 things in Ho's
bathroom medicine cabinet.
Thank you. There's another callback from Jim. Everybody just posted it up on the.
It's a good one. Like that.
I like that. Well,
all right. Let me give you the symbol.
Methylate. Hold on. Mercurochrome, alcohol, isopropyl alcohol,
band-aids,
and toilet paper to put on your shoulder.
There you go. Although I'm not sure that would be in your medicine cabinet, but wouldn't fit.
Then a spare roll.
You're like boom, boom.
Oh, we all then the medicine cabinet. I'm doing the cabinet underneath.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Oh
It's that
my!
time.
Oh
My,
my!
oh
I knew
my.
you were gonna do that as soon as I did.
My, oh my.
All right, listen. So I think we'll be back next Tuesday, same bat time, same bat channel. Actually, I gotta check my doctor. I've been going to doctor's appointments.
Yeah, that may be a problem.
So it's
We'll need to talk.
what, Tuesday next week?
I think I may be on an airplane on Tuesday.
Okay.
Or
All
I
right.
might be there. I don't know. I got to look. Maybe. Let's talk.
All right. Well, here's the deal. John and I are going to talk and then look for your Facebook.
Been crazy.
For me to go Facebook Live for the Friday song tomorrow.
Yes.
And I'll tell you exactly when the next podcast is going to be showing up. And I cannot thank you enough for hanging out with us and listening to the podcast and participating with the QOD and just having some fun with us and really appreciate the comments when I put up some stupid Facebook Live video from an Irish pub somewhere, and so really humbled and really enjoy the fact that you hang out with us. So thank you again. For John Yaglensky, I'm Ron Ross. Please take care of yourselves and each other. Please be safe. Love you, mean it. Bicycle.